Yeah. Well, throw a number at you as far as what I value as the most important number. And in terms of health of an operation, what is the number that you're watching the most in terms of cash?
I had myself muted for a second. Sorry about that. The the number that I look at the most, this is probably not the best number to look at, but in all honesty, since I have a team that really helps me on that other end, I'm paying attention to sales. I guess is not the number you should be, but I can't help it that I'm always looking at sales. But I would not just be looking at that number if I didn't have like a trusted crack team in place that was letting me know like profitability at a SKU level, and just what are my other costs and fees associated with each product at a different level. I would be looking at a different number, but all honesty, I look at sales now.
All right. Well, I tell you, in terms of like I said, this is for the health of an Amazon operation from cash standpoint, liquidity. So this is just me. This is my opinion, and I run it by people, and I've seen businesses go out of business because they didn't pay attention to this, even though they have a good business and growing business. As yet, they go out of business because it's not sustainable. And the number is this: take the amount of net liquidity you generate per month. Let's say you're doing $1 million a month, and your net margin is 15%. That's 150 grand, right? Very simple. Now you take that number and then you divide it by the value of the inventory you had at the beginning of that month in stock. Because if you do the math, if you're spending 20% of the sale on the merchandise, you've got 3-4 month lead time to place your POs. So you are carrying 4 months worth of 3 to 4 months worth of merchandise at the beginning of every month. Now, just for the sake of example, if you're doing 150 grand net, 15% net margin, which is a very good number, you are more than likely to have at least $500,000 worth of merchandise in stock at the beginning of that month. Easy, right? So
Absolutely.
what does that mean? 150,000 divided by 500,000, that's almost like 30%, roughly. That means if you run your business that healthy, it is still 4 months before you can take a penny out of your operation and put in your pocket, because 4 months worth of business will go to just financing the inventory. And that's why I say to people, be careful with discounting, be careful with buying, be careful with how much inventory, how much of the inventory is stale, because that the example we had is a very silly example, a very healthy example, and it still came out at 30%. Usually it's around 10, 12, 15%. That means a whole year. So imagine now that you're carrying at 10, 15% rate, and you're growing. What do you think is going to happen to you? You're going to run out of cash and go out of business, right? Yeah. That's why I say that is the most important number to always look at every day. I call it return on inventory, ROI. Net liquidity divided by value of inventory at the beginning of the month. And that is going to tell you, okay, we're good. Now, I have this conversation with sellers, and I ask this question to them. See, do you ever, and they say, oh, everything is great, we're growing, we did so much this month, so much. Then I say to them, do you ever feel like, everything is going right and you've got great margins and you're growing, but you find yourself asking, I don't understand. We never have any money in the bank. What's going on? Everything is good. And they say, how do you know that? I said, if you share your screen and show me your numbers, I'm going to tell you how much you are always short. And then, I tell them it's I just do a round figure. I said, you think about $85,000? How did you know that? And so that's how it is. It's always, and cash is king. You run out of cash, that's it. That's the end of the road. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
my.
I would
that's
have answered the same way. I would have been like, yeah, how did you know? Because that was me. I remember one time I had exited twice, and I sat down with somebody who just had more business sense than me at the time, and he goes, Carlos, you are very good at moving money, but not very good at making money, like in the early days. And it took me so long to like wrap my head around that. And that was one of the awakening moments that I was like, I need to hire somebody that really knows what they're doing in this, because I can't. I've been really lucky so far, and yeah, so you're spot on.
And by the way, now Amazon has low inventory fees. So if you're
Yeah,
carrying too low, so
it's
that means
insane.
that you have to buy.
It's insane. I can't believe
Uh,
it. I thought it was a prank, but no. That's what it is.
oh, no. And by the way, did you see that? I mean, we record this on April 2nd, the day after April Fool's Day.
Are you going to say
And
the Twitter post by Dharmesh? Yeah, he's
yeah,
suspending it for a month.
yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see.
We understand that this is going to be refunded. So amazing.